Alright, hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and welcome back to another episode of the Ocarina of Time Let's Play. And if you did miss out during the last one, well, we went and did some exploration around over here in the Forest Temple, and we are going to be continuing onwards with some more of the Forest Temple that's going to be here. Now, if you guys don't know, we did go and see the pose that was happening throughout our way here in the Forest Temple, and now we actually have to go and chase on after these pose and hopefully try to accomplish out on those different objectives so that we can at least be able to open up our way to the boss where that Phantom Ganon is going to be at. But before we can even go and even worry about with any of these poses, we need to get ourselves with the bow and arrow, and the main area for where that bow and arrow, for where that location is going to be to get ourselves with the chest is going to be right on over here, and we have to go and battle out with some of these Night Stealthoses. Now, that was just only one of them, but there is going to be two more that we actually have to go and do. And now this is where I would recommend strongly on getting any type of bombs that you do have. So if you have a lot of bombs with you, make sure to go and use those as best as you can around over here, because sometimes these Night Stealthoses can become a little bit of a problem. And however, during some time, finally went and got ourselves now with the chest in our hands now. And let's go and finally open up with this chest and get ourselves with the fairy bow, which we can now go and use that against with the different poses that we're going to be seeing. Now, I remember when I went and first played here within the Forest Temple for my very first time, since I went and played the GameCube version of Ocarina of Time. That was my very first time stepping foot into Ocarina of Time from before. And I remember within that game is that when I went and picked up with the fairy bow, I kind of immediately went to the next door, which that is where the next Poe is going to be, the blue one. But normally you should be able to go and just backtrack your way to the previous spot from beforehand, and that's where you should be able to get yourself with your very first one, which that one is going to be the red Poe. Now, there are certain different colors of Poes. Now, from what we have seen already during the Forest Temple, there is the blue one, the red one, the green one, and then there's also the purple one. Now, the purple one is much later on throughout the game, so that will be later on when you actually go and collect with all the different Poes. Now, I want to say the portrait pose that are here, the red one and the blue one for that matter, are a little bit annoying in a way. So you want to make sure that when you're going and trying to get these guys to actually come out of the portrait, you want to make sure that you're actually somewhat a little bit further away instead of like up and close in front of them, because most of the times if you actually go and kind of meet up with the actual Poe, like right to your face with one of the portraits, it's not going to really work out all that too well, and he will go and disappear and probably go and show up into another one. Now, I want to say there's a total of like 3 different portraits for like each of these Poes, so you want to make sure that you at least go and hit every single one. Now, majority of these Poe battles are going to take some time because the one thing that they really like to go and do is turn invisible, and then you have to like wait for so many amount of times until they actually decide to go and come back out of their invisibility, and then you can go and hit them. And I believe they actually take a few shots. So after like 3 or 4 different shots, it seems like those are going to be all good to go. And now we can get ourselves with a key. Now, make sure to go and keep this key with you, because we're going to go and have to use that a little bit later throughout our way. And let's just go and make sure to go and grab that. And also, too, I remember when I went and first played through Ocarina of Time. Well, if you guys saw that little torch right there, normally, you can't really go and do anything about it unless if you go and defeat the Poe. Now, what's going to happen is that since that torch has now been lit up at this point in time, you can go and head back to the actual hub area, and you can go and see that that torch is now lit up for one part of the elevator that's going to be happening. So now we're into the next phase. Now, this is where the blue Poe is going to be showing up. And once we're done with all these portrait Poes, then things are going to kind of change around a little bit, because now this is where later on for the green Poe is where we kind of have to go and do a little bit of a puzzle situation. And I want to say the puzzle is actually somewhat a little bit tricky if you never actually learned how to do it before, but you want to make sure that you actually remove one of the different puzzle pieces out of the actual area for where you're actually supposed to be making the puzzle piece for that green Poe, because I remember like trying to do that before and see like, what the heck is this 5th one supposed to be? Well, that 5th block doesn't really do anything. You just want to make sure that all 4 pieces all get attached together. Oh yeah, and this one's also a little bit of a tricky one as well, because sometimes if you're not like too careful enough, and if you kind of see like where the Poe's trying to like run off to for this blue one, you want to make sure that you actually go around where one of the stairs are, and then just kind of just turn around a little bit, and that's where you can go and find one of the Poes. Now, within these 2 videos for today, we are, of course, going to be doing some more of Yokai Watch 4, and I want to say that this is going to be the potential second, well, yeah, it is going to be the second last episode, because I want to say by the time that within the next video for Yokai Watch that comes around, we should be in the finale episode stage, and seeing what's going to happen from there. Now, we are going to have to, of course, take on the Overseer. That's going to happen, and we're going to have to go in battle with Lord Antona as well. So we got 2 different boss battles that is going to happen within this video for today, and that's going to be pretty crazy. So now, that torch has finally now been lit up, and now we got ourselves with the red and with the blue now. Now, it seems like there's also another chest that just went and opened up, and yes, that is going to be now with the compass. So I know that before we went and actually found out where the, I want to say where the, I think we found the dungeon map at the very beginning, right? So we found the dungeon map, but we just never really came across the compass at all. So now, let's just go and head all the way over here to this room, and now this is where you do want to go and make sure to have that key with you, and now we can go and finally head on into here. Now, this is where you do want to actually get yourself captured by the Wall Master, because you don't want to have to go and retrace all your steps around here, because unfortunately, we can't really go do anything about within this area for right now, so we're just going to kind of have to sit around a little bit until the Wall Master actually shows up. So while we are just going to kind of just sit and wait for a little bit, we do have to make our return back to that one previous spot that we kind of saw from the last time where that silver eyeball was at. If you guys can vaguely remember within that spot where all those different bubbles were here. Well, we want to go and hit this eyeball switch, and it's going to switch it around, and now this is where we're going to be able to get ourselves now with the boss key that's going to be showing up around in this part. And that's all that we really do need. I don't think there's really anything else that's too much of a thing that's going to happen, except that we may probably have to go and fall on down into that area right there. So yeah. So once we go and grab this, I think we got ourselves another little situation that's going to happen where we got ourselves with some falling platforms that are going to be showing up. Well, I think just about here. So, just go and throw a bomb right there and let the bubbles go and kind of react as best as they can around there. And yeah, that's kind of a good thing about using the bombs as well, too, for those bubbles, is that, like, if you just toss a bomb somewhere, they'll all just, like, kind of, like, just congregate around it, and then you can just go and blow them up quickly around there without having any much of an issue. Okay, so this is not the falling platform just yet, but there is going to be another falling hole area that we do have to be on the lookout for, and I think that's where that's going to take us where the green Poe is going to be. But this one's actually going to take us right on into where a certain other key is going to be at. Now, this is going to be one type of floor master or wall master that's going to be here. That's going to be very annoying, and so even though that you went and used your 2 arrows, you're going to have to go and battle with these guys that are going to be very small. Now, these guys can be really annoying, and they will drain your HP, and I have to say, these guys are very creepy. Yeah, they just turn green, and then they just go and start trying to drain all your health away, and it's not good at all. Okay, so what is this going to go and give us out here? I believe this will give us our next up-and-coming key, and you do have to go and head on into this way, and you want to make sure to actually go and pick this up. Because if you don't, then you're going to forget about it, because we're going to have to go and do another little backtracking way throughout the Forest Temple, and that is going to be right here. Now, we've already been through this way already, but now, since things are, I want to say, not really changed up just yet, because I'm pretty sure we kind of have to flip things around later. Oh yeah, we got this type of annoying part here. So yeah, so just kind of use your sword a little bit and just wait for these guys to at least kind of just let go of their green flame. It's gonna take a little bit. Yep, there we go. Now they can go and go for the hit here. And there we go, just like that. Now we can go and put our key right to the good use right there. And let's go and open it up here. And there we go. So you guys may probably remember about what this type of room is, because this is actually the original area that actually kind of inspired the actual Wind Waker game as well too. Now, I remember this area being a little bit annoying because you actually kind of have to use your arrows to act like it as a fire arrow. Now, if you're doing a randomizer, this part would be very easy for you if you had like the fire arrows right away. But we already went and crossed all through that, so now, since we went and hit the other silver eyeball, now everything has been flipped around at this point. And now we got ourselves just one more other little hole to go falling down into, and that is right here. So yeah, so it's going to be this platform that is going to have the falling stuff that's going to be around. And Navi's just going to go and tell us just to be careful because there is going to be some falling platforms around out here. And one thing that we do want to go and do is actually hit that switch that is going to be right here. Now, I don't know if it actually has a timer on it or anything. So I think we don't really have to really worry about that for right now. But just keep on running as quickly as you can. Reach out over to where this treasure chest is going to be. And let's see what we got. Got ourselves some extra bundle of arrows. Always good for that. Gonna wait for one more time before that thing goes and flies back up there. And we are here now, finally, at where the green Poe is going to be now. So all that we have to go and do here for this guy is we just need to go and get up to some higher ground. And then once we're able to go and do something like that, we can just go and basically use our bow and arrow that we do have and just do it exactly how we did before with the other two different Poes. So there we go. So now those pieces will go and fall down, and now you only have about a minute to go for what the puzzle is going to be. And again, this puzzle is fairly simple. If you never actually done it before, this could actually be somewhat of a challenge for you, but just make sure that you don't ever go and use that other fifth piece that we went and talked about here. And there we go. So now we just have to go and just light up our arrows once again. Now this guy is actually fairly simple compared to the other two different Poes, because I think you don't have to really worry about too much different hits from this guy. But it is a little bit annoying because sometimes he always likes to go a little bit further away than the other different Poes. So sometimes you won't be able to go and kind of lock on him at all, like super fast there. Well, let's go and do it again, and there we go. That should be the third one, and I think we got one more time, right? So I guess this Poe is almost like the same as that type of hit damage as the rest of the other Poes. I don't know why, but it just felt like within the other two Poes that I went and did before, they were actually a little bit harder than normal, but there we go. We got those guys there, got the green torch finally lit up. And let's go and move off into where the purple guy is. Now, I have to say, I love the purple Poe. The purple Poe actually looks really cool in this place. Now, just be careful that when you go and start heading on into where the purple Poe is going to be happening, is that you have to make sure that the purple Poe that you're going to be trying to find is going to be the one that's going to be twirling around. It should be very simple. But yeah, I was thinking about saving, but we don't want to do that yet because I don't really want my HD PVR to be acting up all funny or willy-nilly around over here. Alright, so we're just almost about a minute to go within this episode. Alright, so now he's going to set up for that double teaming move, and now we're just going to have to find the one that's going to be twirling around. Normally, if you ever go and lock onto the onto that one purple Poe that's going to be twirling around, that's like majority of the time that you're going to have to go and hit him. So I was really lucky on that one. So we hit him right at the very beginning of the get-go. Now just kind of wait around for a little bit. Now we're just going to have to go and search for where this guy's going to be. Whichever type of Poe is going to be it. Nope, unfortunately we missed it. Well, let's go and see who's going to be the one that's going to be twirling here. And let's just go and search around. And, there we go. Found the one that was twirling. Alright, easy enough. Now we're just going to have to kind of wait around for a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Just like that from before. Hit him again. And it seems like each Poe does take like 3 or 4 or 5 different amount of hits of damage. So, let's go for another one there. And we just have to do this one more time, it seems like. And once that happens, we got the elevator, and then we'll be moving off to Phantom Ganon in the next episode. And there we go. And that is how we do it. We got all Poes within the Forest Temple. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. And of course, peace.